Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes that brings the bare necessities of life. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to be talking about The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is a 2016 theatrical release about a boy named Mowgli who's raised by wolves needing to find his place in the jungle. It's directed by Jon Favreau, cinematography by Bill Pope, editing by Mark Livolsi, music by John Debney, and it's written by Justin Marks. It's based off the books by Rudyard Kipling, I've already gone over them before, and many of the other Jungle Book movies. The film stars Neel Sethi as Mowgli, Bill Murray as Baloo, Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, Idris Elba as Shere Khan, Scarlett Johansson as Kaa, Luipta Nyong'o as Raksha, Giancarlo Esposito as Akela, and Christopher Walken as King Louie. In July of 2013, it was announced that Justin Marks was going to write and it was being created. This would be their third live-action adaptation. They did The Jungle Book in 1994, and then they've done The Jungle Book Mowgli story after that. I don't remember what year that is. And then they've obviously done this one, and then they obviously have the original Jungle Book and Jungle Book 2. So, lots of Jungle Book movies happening. In November 2013, Jon Favreau was brought on, and he was very serious about it. He even has a quote saying he wanted to be really aware of the difference in nature between Rudyard Kipling's time and our time, and how during Rudyard Kipling's time, nature was something to be protected, or nature was something to be overcome, and now nature is something to be protected. Absolutely insane. Brutal bars, mic drop. John Lasseter ended up being the one to suggest they use the original storybook used in the original Jungle Book at the open and close in this one, and they do use it at the close. And it dances a little bit and stuff. They filmed on sound stages in LA. All of the animals were CG. 70 separate species were featured, a lot of them 150% larger than their counterparts. Jim Henson's Creature Shop brought in puppets for Neel Sethi to act against, because otherwise he would have had nothing. They used mocap with some actors, but not too much because they didn't want it to be too intense. Moving Picture Company and Weta Digital did the VFX. And then Jon Favreau wanted the 3D shots to feel like the multiplane camera that they used back during their early animation days to give it that feel. The film had $175 to $177 million budget and made $966.6 million in the box office. It has a 94% Rotten Tomatoes consensus. As lovely to behold as it is engrossing to watch, The Jungle Book is the rare remake that actually improves upon its predecessors, all while setting a new standard for CGI. A sequel has been in the works since. This is 2016. It's 2025. Sequel has been in the works since. In 2018, Jon Favreau was focusing on the Lion King live action, and then also, didn't he just do the Mufasa one? I have no idea. In 2018, also, Neel Sethi said he'd be happy to reprise his role as Mowgli. As of now, it's still in development. This is obviously close to a decade ago. Absolutely breathtaking cinematography and visuals. The realistic quality of the animals, Bagheera especially, I feel like looks so real and oof, very good. I think the fakest looking is Baloo, and I think the realest looking is Bagheera. I think King Louie is excellent looking. And the fact that all the other like normal animals are also fake, also crazy. The wolves only look fake when they speak. So, like, you have that going for you a little bit. But otherwise, this is really beautiful. There are shots in this that are breathtaking. The lighting in this, I know it was all controlled besides what was exactly on Neel Sethi as Mowgli. But this is, wow, what a beautiful film. It has that to say for it. It's a little long. I feel like people are going to be mad at me for saying that, especially because this is a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it does. As we went into the King Louie sequence, I was like, oh, it feels like it's dragging out a little bit, actually. I think it's just because every sequence feels just slightly too long. Like every scene is slightly too long. Every like important sequence feels maybe slightly too long. Like they milked it. And that's true. I mean, they took the base movie and just expanded and fleshed out all the scenes. So like there's a weird like happy medium that maybe they could have found. But it's not like my biggest complaint. It's not like it made the movie bad. I just noticed like as we went to the King Louis scene, I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel the drag of the movie. And then like it kind of was dragging a little bit more until we were at like the climax with the fire and all of that. Then I was like really like, okay, we're back in it. Everything's cool. So it just felt like it was a little bit draggy, but it's still like edited well. The score is honestly a standout for me. I could have done without the bare necessities and I Want to Be Like You, if I'm being honest. I feel like Cinderella was the only live action that came from a musical that didn't embrace the musical. This does a bit of the musical. I mean, don't get me wrong, like she hums to herself and sings to herself, but it's all makes sense. Like there's no musical number. Where this, like, it's a bit musical numbery, both Bare Necessities and I Want to Be Like You. Less than the animation, but still musical numbery. And then obviously, you know, we have Aladdin and Little Mermaid. And, you know, not that I'm complaining. I think Aladdin and Little Mermaid being musicals fit and was appropriate. And was the call, but I feel like this maybe would have been one of the calls to not do it. You know what I mean? I feel like they need to choose which movies need to keep the musical aspect and which movies need to get rid of the musical aspect. And I felt like this one might have been a little bit more along the line with Cinderella, where they kind of get, like maybe Baloo could have been whistling the Bare Necessities, right? Just the same way that Cinderella will hum Lavender's Blue Dilly Dilly, or she even like in a brief scene hums Sing Sweet Nightingale as a little nod. You know what I mean? I feel like it could have been stuff like that, where like King Louis could have said, I want to be like you, but maybe not sung it, but like maybe the underlying music was it, you know, because they did that a lot as well. But with that aside, the score is standout. I think this might be more than the visuals a standout for me. John Debney outdid himself for this. I couldn't believe it was John Debney when I read who did it. It, like, from the opening chase scene where Bagheera's chasing Mowgli, I was like, oh, okay. And then, like, the King Louis reveal, that was some John Williams level Sting moment. And I was like, okay, John Debney, like, what the heck? It's just so well done. So Akela dies and Mowgli's real life father dies, so I am gonna count it as 2 parent deaths. I normally do include adopted parents, especially if like the kid was actually like adopted, because for all intents and purposes he was Mowgli's dad, but then we also know his birth father died. So I'm gonna count both parent deaths. You can be mad at me if you want, that's fine. The King Louis sequence is terrifying in this movie. How scary. I know it's like kind of scary in the Jungle Book because he's saying like, I'm gonna keep you so you can teach me about man's red flower or whatever. But like in this one, it is like horrifying. It's so scary. Which I get, like they were going for, I guess, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. It felt like maybe it was a little too scary for kids, which not every Disney movie has to be for kids. And this was definitely like nostalgia bait, just like all these other remakes. So like I get it's probably for adults anyway, but like kids are definitely being taken to see it. That's a scary scene. Not that I don't think we should have scenes in movies that like scare kids, because you know there's some scary stuff in like the rescuers getting the diamond out of the Devil's Bayou. Scared the crap out of me. Ooh, so scary. So like I know that stuff, it's a balance, but it was terrifying. The scene was terrifying. This is like the original movie, just with like every scene fleshed out, like I said. And I feel like that's good and bad depending. You know, it's long and it feels long to me. But there was some fleshing out that was really good. Also, a decision I forgot they did was they didn't have Mowgli go to the man village for a girl, which I'm not mad about. I just totally forgot that. I saw this in theaters, and I haven't seen it since. So I totally forgot that it doesn't end the same way, and Mowgli chills in the jungle with Baloo and Bagheera. Totally forgot about it. Idris Elba as Shere Khan is so good. I don't know how else to put it. I think he was an excellent choice for Shere Khan. He played a lot of animals in this time. We've got Chief Bogo in Zootopia. We've got this, and then I know he's in Sing. I don't know when that movie came out originally, but he was playing a lot of animals. And then he eventually obviously becomes Knuckles. Goodness. My favorite part is probably the elephants. Shocking information. I love elephants. Who would have guessed? Also, fight him like a man when Bagheera comes around and is like, you know what? You're not a wolf. Fight him like a man. Loved that. I thought that was great. Least favorite part? Maybe the King Louis scene because it was so scary. Or the musical numbers because they felt a little like they didn't feel totally out of place. They just felt like, you know, we're in the middle of a very intense movie. I feel like this isn't the time. You know what I mean? But nothing else too crazy. How long it felt at certain points, maybe? Recommend? Sure. Watch again? I don't know. I mean, probably. But I'm not going to go out of my way. Jungle Book has never been, like, one of my favorites, which I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for. People love the Jungle Book, period. It's never been one of my favorites. I do like it. It's good. It's just not one I usually frequent. So, yeah, I don't know. I did see this in Los Angeles, in my town, that I lived in, at a theater that had $1.75 movie tickets on Tuesdays. I miss you. And that was such a special experience by myself because it was early on in me being there. It was fun though. I was happy to have found that theater. That was cool. Also, this takes me back because the Jungle Book animation was 100 and I had Sammy and Alexa as guests. And, yeah, dude, absolutely nuts. It's crazy. I don't know what to even say. I feel like I maybe should have had him in this video. I have no idea. Maybe I'll text him and tell him to send me like a video for the live action Jungle Book. But crazy how time is insane. Okay, that's it for the Jungle Book. My final rating is gonna be 8 red flowers out of 10. Our total movie count is. Our parent death toll is. Correct count is still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie I'm watching when, follow me on all socials to find out what movie I'm watching when. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early. Tiers with the daily trivia, monthly postcards, bonus content, etc. Buy merch. Merch is great. Merch is grand. The new merch company is cool. Go check it out. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe. I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so do you, and don't be Shere Khan about it. That's for sure. Oh, whoopie-doo, I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you too. They say it's true that an ape like me can learn to be human too.